Alright, what's up, guys? It's GSR here. So I went against a trash talker, right? So it's not this guy. It was actually uh, the guy that I'm gonna be showing you like snippets of, and then I'll show you like the full video of me going against him. So he had quite a lot to say. How I found out that he was like talking shit is when I turned my music down, you know what I'm saying? And then my homegirl was like, hey, some nigga talking shit, you know what I'm saying? And I was like, wait, what? And she can hear it, but I couldn't because I was listening to my music. So, I turned my music down and then I can hear it a little bit. I'm like, what the fuck? So I completely turned my music off and this nigga is talking shit. Like, I'm talking about he's talking shit. So as a matter of fact, I'm gonna let you hear, I'm gonna let you hear this shit. It's fucking hilarious.
You're playing John. You're acting as if you're playing a character that has to struggle with anything, bro. Like, shut up.
So he claims that my character doesn't really struggle with anything, right? So I find this very distasteful because at this point you're just trying to paint Johnny to be like this no-brainer kind of character in a sense. It's like everything he does is just guaranteed. Like everything he does, you're just gonna get fucked up for it, right? So when he said that, I thought it was mad interesting, right? As if Johnny doesn't have a serious weakness when it comes to the neutral game and him being able to close the distance to even be able to apply pressure on you, right? So I thought this was interesting, but the whole time I was just trolling his ass. I was just saying random ass shit just to piss him off because I knew he was mad, right? So then the conversation continued.
When you have a character, when you have a character like Johnny that can stagger into cameo, add to the fact that you can do negative strings into cameo, right? Then on top of that, he has mixes that he can stagger. So
Mixes that he can
I
stagger.
don't know what
Interested
I
in
don't
that.
know what you're talking about.
I'm
The dude
interested in this.
has
Mixes that
mixes
he
that
can
he
stagger.
can use.
Like other
Yeah,
characters don't have mixes that they can stagger. Okay, keep going. Keep going.
Oh.
So check this shit out, right? You heard what the nigga was talking about, right? And I was surprised that I even had this recording because normally conversations aren't even being recorded or anything like that because I just don't give a fuck about recording conversations. But this one in particular was just actually very fantastic, right? The whole time I was trolling the fuck out this guy, right? But if you notice, when he had stated certain shit, I immediately had a rebuttal towards that because I was just like, you're full of shit. Okay, he literally said you can stagger Johnny Cage's mixes. So he's basically talking about Johnny Cage's forward 1-2 and his 2-1, right? Now, here's the problem with what I have what he said, right? He's nitpicking at everything. The main root is the fact that Johnny is just plus on block, right? Because then he actually brought up the fact that Johnny Cage can go for minus situations and then call out his cameo fighter to make situations safe for him. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but can't a huge majority or every character in this game that have minus situations do the same exact shit? Am I missing something here? Then to add more fuel to the fucking fire, right? The nigga wanted to bring up the fact that Johnny Cage can stagger his mix-ups, such as his 2-1 and his forward 1-2, as if other characters in the game cannot do the same exact shit. Prime example is Smoke. Do I even need to elaborate any further than that? I don't need to say anything else about that. Like I don't need to say anything else about that. Then he claims that Johnny Cage has no like weakness or like he's not weak or anything like that, right? Like he can't be like as if he can't be beaten. Right now, this is where it gets interesting. Johnny Cage struggles in the fucking neutral, right? But he's not acknowledging that. He's trying to nitpick at everything, right? First of all, you capping on the mix-up situation where Johnny's the only one that can stagger and do all that. You're also capping on the minus situation where Johnny is the only character in the game that can use a cameo to make minus situations safe on block. I have seen numerous players, especially God players that I've gone against, that some of them I have beaten, and some of them they just whoop my ass. Even though I didn't know the matchup, they still won the game, right? And he, dude, I've even gone against an Elder God in this fucking game, and I have seen players go for pressure situations. A prime example was Baraka and Cyrax. with the buzzsaw situation. Now, of course, you know, there are patch notes that ended up happening to where they, you know, if the opponent goes for something like that, you do not build up as much meter as you used to, because like if the opponent flawless blocks it, then they not only reduce the chip, but they reduce your chances of building significant amount of meter, which is actually a really, really solid and good change, I think, right? At least for this game, right? Because I think the biggest issue with this whole situation with the chip damage and, you know, meter building was like the fact that cameos would definitely, especially certain cameos that hit multiple times, they would most definitely build you substantial amount of meter. And the main one that could actually do that for you is Cyrax. But that's besides the point, right? So he's talking all this bullshit, and I'm just like, okay, so for starters, the minus situation where a cameo can make him safe, that's cap, because he's not the only one that can do that, okay? When it comes to staggering mix-ups, Johnny is not the only one that can actually do that, okay? So you're full of shit on that. As a matter of fact, your character can actually do that if you knew anything about your character, right? Speaking of his character, that's when I started bringing up his character. Now, what's funny about it is he started talking about a whole bunch of shit with my character, what he doesn't like about my character, and all this bullshit. Now, I did ask him a question. So you would be happy if Johnny Cage got nerfed, right? He didn't give me a legit response. As a matter of fact, he hesitated, which didn't make any sense because, you know, you talking all this shit, so you should be able to give me an answer. You know what I'm saying? So let's continue.
You literally can out-neutral this character. Like, literally. Very easy.
So he said you can't really. And I'm pretty sure you guys heard that loud and clear. You can't out-neutral Johnny Cage. Did he really just say that? Like, are you serious? Johnny Cage's neutral is not that good. It's literally not that good. Why do you think I said I prefer range over him just being significantly plus on block? But the reward that he gets once he finally gets in, okay, is pressure. If you look at these characters as a whole, right? You can clearly see characters in the neutral have a big advantage over Johnny to a certain degree when it comes to the neutral game. Reiko's a prime example. He has really good range on his buttons, and I'm not going to say he's the safest character when it comes to his range on his buttons. You understand what I'm saying? But his ability to have that range makes it difficult for the Johnny player just to simply just get in and then do whatever they want to do to him, right? Then on top of that, his stars, even his meterless one, that one, if you spend a bar of meter with Johnny Cage's shadow kick, he breaks the armor. So in this matchup, you have to know when to go for the shadow kick and when not to. But see, he don't know that because he's just nitpicking at everything Johnny Cage has access to, because he just don't like the fact that Johnny Cage just took his main character's face off, right? Then, you know, the video goes on a lot longer because I was just trolling the fuck out of him. I was shit talking to him and everything. I was just trolling the fuck out of this nigga, right? And I was just chilling the whole fucking time, and then this random ass nigga, you know, started just ruining my whole day with all this fucking shit talking about you know, oh, you're not good, bro. If you're not good. If it was another character or something like that, you would have lost. Blah. That's 100% cap. I've used other characters in previous MK games that were not really that good, such as Rambo, and I was playing in ranked, and I was beating the shit out of people. I've even got flawless victories on niggas. And this is the online matches here, right? He didn't win not one single match. The first thing he did was just hold block. Majority of the time he was turtling up. I don't know if he knew the matchup or not. I'm not really sure. But like I said, you understand what I'm saying? Like he made it seem as if like if I wasn't using Johnny, he would have won. That's bullshit. That's 100% bullshit, because anybody that's a real fan and subscriber of my YouTube channel, you have seen me use an extremely low tier character and get flawless victories and also beat characters that should easily beat the shit out of Rambo. I've even done some Rambo breakdowns back in MK11. And even if I was to pick up Sub-Zero, right? His complaint for Sub-Zero is, oh, you were playing too defensive with him. Oh, you were just mixing me, blah, blah, blah. But your characters have, your character has mix-ups. Every character in this game has mix-ups. So I'm a little confused here. Like it was just, it's just, and then the funny part, if you pay attention to what he just did, where he went for her dive kick, that dive kick is actually really unsafe. The reason why I know this is because I went against a God player, and I was curious on whether or not that move was safe, because he did poke me when I went for a high, and I thought it was because I mistimed it. Turned to find out I did. That move is not even fucking safe. And what did he do? He literally used Motaru to teleport to make what safe? Something that was negative. So what the hell is he talking about? That's what I'm saying. Like, he's just nitpicking. The biggest issue with Johnny is that he is a little too plus. Other than that, you need to leave him the fuck alone. It's already bad enough that he's not that good in the neutral. And if you completely destroy his pressure game, like, do I even need to explain that? Now, granted, I will admit he is gifted with a 9-frame mid and he's gifted with a 6-frame down 1. You understand what I'm saying? But you can change the frame data a bit to where it's a little bit more reasonable. I'm okay with that. That's why I'm surprised in these patch notes, they didn't nerf his plus frames. Because when they nerfed Johnny Cage in Mortal Kombat 11, I was trolling, but I knew that they were going to nerf him. And guess what? Niggas in the comments was like, damn, this nigga is still using Johnny Cage. And I was doing well with this character. And then I hit his ass with this fucking setup right here. Because if he was the armor, I would have broke his armor with those double kicks. He didn't like that shit. See? Then he started talking shit. You see his fucking microphone going off? Y'all probably can hear him if I wasn't talking. See? He goes for something unsafe right there. He didn't use the cameo to make it safe like he tried to do last time. And then on top of that, he's using the wrong cameo for Nitara. So you clearly don't have that much fucking experience. And then he's just sitting there holding block and he's trying to make it seem like he can't do anything at all. But in my mind, I'm just like, nigga, you have bars a meter where you can armor me, and I'm playing ridiculously aggressive with Johnny Cage. And I literally was exposing weak ass shit about my character. His biggest weakness, like I said, is when he's in the neutral. Shitty range, highly risky special moves that he has access to, not unless you can read when the opponent's gonna do certain shit, and then you gotta time your, especially the dodging shadows move or whatever, or the shadow dodge, you gotta time that shit correctly. And then he challenged me because I was trolling the fuck out of him and he didn't like that shit. He challenged me to a whole nother set. I was about to do it, but then even if I would have won, he would have literally just said the same fucking shit. He would have just said, oh, the only reason why you won is because of the fact that you're using Johnny. So it's just like, and then he talked about who else do you main in this game. Nigga, I picked up Johnny when the game dropped. I even used Johnny during the beta. Just like I did back in Mortal Kombat 11. Well, I mean, I'm confused. So, and here's what's funny about it, right? So that would mean, right? Because he claimed I'm not good. Without Johnny, I'm not good, right? So that would mean Ninja Killer and Combat, right? Combat is a Johnny main, right? From my understanding, from what people have been telling me, whoever this Combat guy is, right? But he is a Johnny Cage main, right? And that would also mean that without Johnny, Combat's not good. But then his excuse is, well, he's a pro player and I've seen him use other characters. But like, I'm not a pro player and I've used other characters and I've played in ranked and I've used a low tier character like Rambo and Collector and I've won matches, hella matches actually, and gotten extremely high in rank. So I'm kind of confused. So what's the difference? Because he goes to tournaments and I don't? Because he has more time on his hands and I don't? You see what I'm saying about these niggas, bro? The big issue here, because he tried to nitpick at certain shit that Johnny can do, which is bullshit, I think. Okay. Then he committed into something that's unsafe, as you can clearly see, and he's bitching and complaining about that. You committed into something that's unsafe. How does that make any sense? So then he was getting me to block, and see, and then he went for her back too, which gives her that shit. As you can clearly see, which that combo was cool as fuck. I thought about doing combos with it, but as you can clearly see, like, you see what I'm saying? So that would mean Combat and Ninja Kill ain't good for using this character. That means the pro players are not good for using the character, right? That's literally what the fuck that means. That's literally what the fuck that shit means. Look, he's just holding block. I'm literally sitting there watching him, and he's just holding block. You know how many experienced opponents I've gone against in this game where they literally would see me do something like that, and they would respond. They literally would respond because you're procrastinating. But like I said, man, I don't got much to say about this bullshit. I just think it's very interesting how this individual is talking shit. The biggest thing about Johnny is the fact that he has a little bit too much of plus frames, and that's basically what it boils down to. Other than that, if you start touching other shit with Johnny Cage, you're gonna fuck this character up, and that's literally what it is. So I like all this other shit he was talking about Johnny Cage is minus frames, and he can make it safe with a cameo. Other characters can do that. He talked about Johnny can stagger his mix-ups. Smoke is a prime example. He can stagger his fucking mix-ups. But when I said that, he was like, oh, you guys can rewind the clip back. I'm not making it up because he didn't know what the fuck he was talking about.